Alright, so I have this Gibson style guitar here with some humbuckers, and we're going to check out one of the more Marshall-esque tones. They call it Lead 800. It's their emulation of a Marshall JCM800. I think it sounds pretty good, and you're probably used to hearing something like this, so let's try it. Pretty basic setup, really. If we take a look, we're just going to be using this Marshall sound. You can even see how the knobs are very similar to the Marshall style. We're using a Celestion Vintage 30 style cabinet. It'll say Classic 30 here. The microphone I chose is a condenser microphone. I really like to use condenser mics in the studio, so it's nice that you're able to recreate those here. I feel like they get a lot of the nuances of the amplifier, a lot of the bright high end and nice crisp, sort of frequencies that jump out of the speakers, especially when you're playing this high gain stuff. It's pretty simple. I just have a basic reverb dialed in right now, but I also have a compressor at the front of the chain because I'm playing some of this more power chord driven stuff. I want it to compress and sustain and be even and not loose with any of the different strings ringing. I want it to be as powerful as possible. So if we go back to the amp, there's the view of that. If we want, we can add a little bit of delay. And for this delay, I chose more of what appears to be a Memory Man style. They call it the BBD delay. Often they are referring to Bucket Brigade delay. It has to do with the chips in the actual pedal and the components itself. We also have a distortion pedal. It's like their own creation, and you can see that here. We can turn that on or off with this little switch here. What's great is we can also hit any of those again on the unit itself. But when you add that distortion, it gets a nice sort of lead tone to your already cool existing rhythm tone. Pretty cool for not having an amplifier wound up in the back of the studio with a microphone on it, and you're crushing everybody. It's pretty cool. It's just coming out of that box. So that's a great, pretty solid rock tone. With when you add the pedal, you get a great lead sound with it. That would be a killer live application as well. So we'll just hear that again. A little bit of delay for some space. Just one of the many tones that you can dial in with this amp. Actually, this amp simulator called the Avid 11 rack. So let's move on to maybe a clean sound and see what we get.